Most people think advanced English means using bigger words. It doesn't. In business, advanced English usually means this: you can make a difficult idea sound simple. That is real confidence because the goal is not to sound complicated. The goal is to be understood. I'm Eric, and today we're talking about why confident professionals speak more simply and why complicated English often makes you sound less confident, not more. A lot of English learners spend years learning advanced vocabulary, formal expressions, and long sentence structures. Then they walk into a meeting and try to sound impressive. However, here's what many people eventually realize. In business, people do not want to work hard to understand you. They want clarity. They want direction. They want the point. And confident professionals know how to give people that. Here's the mistake. A nervous speaker says, considering the multidimensional complexity of the current situation, we may need to initiate a more comprehensive strategy discussion regarding possible implications, pathways. Oh, that sounds advanced. It also sounds exhausting. Now compare that to this. We need a cleaner plan before we move forward. That sounds stronger, cleaner, more confident, and much easier to trust. The first sentence tries to impress people. The second sentence helps people understand. That's the difference. Confident professionals do not hide behind complicated language. They remove the noise. They say the point clearly. They do not need 10 extra words to protect themselves. They do not need a long explanation before every opinion. They do not need academic language to sound intelligent. They simply speak because they are not trying to prove themselves. They are trying to communicate, and that is much stronger professional skill. Let's look at one common example. A nervous speaker says, I just wanted to kind of ask whether it would be possible for us to consider changing the timeline a little bit. That sentence is full of weak language. Just kind of, would it be possible, a little bit. The message gets buried. A confident professional says, we should adjust the timeline. This is short, clear, professional, no drama, no over-explaining, no confusion. The sentence sounds stronger because the speaker knows the message. Now, simple English does not mean rude English. Simple English is respectful English with less confusion. For example, instead of saying, I am not entirely sure that this approach is necessarily the most optimal direction for us at this particular stage, say, I don't think this is the best direction right now. This is direct, it is not rude, it is clean. And clean communication is what people trust. Professional English does not need to be heavy, it needs to be clear. Here's something I've noticed after years of teaching. Many learners try to sound advanced because they are afraid of sounding basic. They think simple words make them sound lower level. The opposite is usually true. Weak speakers usually complicate language to cover uncertainty. Strong speakers use simple language to show control. Think about strong leaders. They usually do not speak in giant sentences. They use short, clear, memorable lines. We need to move faster. This is not working. Let's focus on the customer. Here's the real problem. That's the next step. This is simple, strong, useful. Nobody leaves the room wondering what they meant. In meetings, simple language gives you authority because it helps people follow you. When you speak too long, people stop listening. When you use too many formal phrases, people work too hard to understand you. When your sentence has 5 ideas inside it, the main idea gets buried. A confident professional respects the listener's attention. They make the idea easy to receive. That is emotionally intelligent. That is leadership. That is business English. Here are 3 simple upgrades you can use right away. Number 1, instead of saying, I would like to provide some clarification regarding the issue, say, let me clarify the issue. Number 2, instead of saying at this moment in time, we are experiencing some difficulties, say, we're having some problems right now. Number 3, instead of saying, I believe there is potentially an opportunity for improvement, say, we can improve this. Each sentence becomes shorter. Each sentence becomes clearer. Each sentence becomes more confident. That is the pattern. Simple does not mean easy. Simple means control. It takes control to remove unnecessary words. It takes confidence to say the point directly. It takes skill to explain something complicated in a normal language. That is why simple professional English is powerful, because simple language exposes your thinking. When your idea is clear, you can say it simply. When your thinking is messy, your language usually becomes messy too. So, better English is not only about vocabulary, it is also about clear thinking. Here is a useful question to ask yourself before you speak at a meeting. What am I really trying to say? Not, how can I sound impressive? Ask, what is the message? Then say that message in the clearest sentence possible. For example, we need more time. The client wants a faster answer. This report is missing key data. I disagree with this approach. We should make the decision today. These sentences are not fancy. They are useful. And in business, useful beats fancy almost every time. The next time you speak in a meeting, try this simple rule. Say the main point first, then explain. Most people do the opposite. They explain, then finally get to the point. A weak structure sounds like this. There are several things we've been discussing recently, and after looking at the timeline and considering the client's expectations and thinking about the team's current workload, I think there's a good reason to change the deadline. A stronger structure sounds like this. We should change the deadline. The team needs more time and the client expects better quality. That is better. Point first, reason second. That one change can make your English sound much more professional. This is why confident professionals speak more simply, not because they know fewer words, because they know which words matter. They know that clarity creates trust. They know that short sentences can sound powerful. They know that leadership is not about sounding complicated. Leadership is about helping people understand what matters. So, here's the main lesson. Do not use English to prove yourself. Use English to make things clearer. Because when your English becomes clearer, your confidence becomes easier to hear. I'm Eric. Keep on, keep it on. I'll see you in the next one.